Welcome, the Lord's chosen. The moment someone high value notices you, the world quietly rearranges itself around you. It's a strange phenomenon, almost invisible if you don't know what to look for. High status individuals, people who command rooms without raising their voices, who move through life with a rhythm most of us only envy, don't fall for just anyone. Their attention is selective, surgical, and deliberate. But when it lands on you, even subtly, it changes the dynamics around you in ways you can feel but can't always explain. Studies have shown that people who are perceived as high status activate not just admiration, but a kind of subconscious protective instinct when it comes to their romantic interests. In other words, they may appear calm, collected, and untouchable, but internally, a mental radar kicks in the second someone else shows interest in you. What's fascinating is that it's not always obvious. They won't storm in like a dramatic movie scene or declare their feelings like a teenage crush. No, that's too obvious, too amateur. Instead, it's in the small things. The way their gaze lingers slightly longer than usual, the subtle recalibration of their schedule to cross paths with you, the quiet way they dominate conversations when someone else tries to get close. It's almost as if the universe itself conspires to make them notice. And once they do, their world, or at least their world around you, shifts imperceptibly. There's also a humorous side to it. You'll catch these high-status people doing things that are completely out of character, like giving extra attention to small details, subtly competing with invisible rivals, or acting protective in ways that look almost comically exaggerated if you step back. But that's the point. When someone powerful is secretly into you, they don't need grand gestures to prove it. Their obsession, though quiet, is meticulous, and their inability to stand seeing anyone else flirt with you is one of the clearest signs that your presence has pierced their otherwise impenetrable composure. By the end of this, you'll start noticing patterns that others dismiss, micro-behaviors that reveal more than 1,000 words. And the undeniable truth: when a high-status person wants you, the world subtly and sometimes hilariously bends to let them show it. Number 1, their composure breaks only. When someone else gets too close, a high-status person is built on discipline, and discipline is their comfort zone. They're not easily impressed, not easily shaken, and definitely not the type to wear their emotions in public. But when someone else starts showing interest in you, something shifts in them. It's not dramatic or messy. It's something much more revealing, a crack in the control they usually take pride in. They become a little sharper, a little more alert, and suddenly more tuned in to everything happening around you. They're not jealous in the loud, possessive way most people imagine. Instead, they experience a quiet disruption inside them, a kind of internal tightening that only happens when they care more than they intended to. The interesting thing is that they don't overreact. They don't interrogate you or behave out of character. They simply show micro-changes that tell you they're no longer neutral. Their voice might drop into a more serious tone. Their energy may shift from relaxed to intentional. Their attention becomes more focused, almost as if they're assessing the situation without wanting you to notice. It's the subtle shift from "I'm observing you" to "I'm guarding my position with you," and they do it without ever announcing it. A high-status person rarely fears competition, but they do fear losing something meaningful before they even get the chance to explore it. So when someone else gets too close to you, their composure slips just enough for you to feel it. They may interrupt a conversation they normally wouldn't care about. They may suddenly sit a bit closer, respond a bit quicker, or analyze the person who's flirting with you. They stay calm, but the calm is tightly controlled. The truth is, their reaction isn't about insecurity. It's about value recognition. You've become someone they can no longer treat casually, and the presence of another person highlights it for them. Their composure breaks because you matter, and because losing you is the one possibility they aren't comfortable entertaining. That tiny shift, barely noticeable to others, is the clearest sign they're already more invested than they admit. Number 2, they treat you like a variable. They can't solve yet refuse to ignore. A high-status person doesn't get easily rattled, and they certainly don't waste energy on people who aren't worth it. But when they're secretly into you, something shifts. You become a puzzle, a variable in their life that doesn't fit their usual patterns. They don't chase recklessly. They don't make a scene, but they can't stop noticing the way you move, speak, and influence the people around you. You become the anomaly in a life that's otherwise calculated, predictable, and under control. And because high-status individuals thrive on control, that anomaly fascinates them. It frustrates them in a way, because they can't fully solve it, yet they refuse to look away. They analyze you silently. They notice subtle changes in your energy, the small shifts in attention, how you react to different people and situations. It's not casual observation. It's a deliberate mental cataloging of everything about you, from your confidence to the way your mind works. They measure, assess, and mentally test every interaction, not to manipulate, but to understand how you fit into their otherwise precise world. Your unpredictability draws them in, and the more they notice, the more they invest in deciphering you. At the same time, they won't make it obvious. They won't overexpose themselves or reveal vulnerability unnecessarily. Instead, their fascination becomes a quiet, persistent presence. They're there at just the right moments, saying the right things, offering attention or insight that seems effortless but is far from random. They're engaging without exposing themselves, testing without pushing, creating proximity without appearing intrusive. This behavior is a telltale sign of deep interest. When a high-status person treats you like a variable they can't solve, it's not about insecurity, it's about the rare recognition that you matter. They are drawn to the challenge and the uniqueness you represent. But unlike most people, they don't run from what they can't control. They embrace it, observe it, and quietly invest in it, all while keeping their composure intact. Their mind is engaged, their attention is yours, and the more complex you seem, the more irresistible you become. Number 3, their respect for you rises the moment they sense competition. High-status people aren't the type to panic when someone shows interest in the same person. They're confident, strategic, and usually unshakable. But when it comes to you, the rules quietly change. The moment they sense competition, something shifts in the way they treat you. It's not about desperation or obvious jealousy. It's about recognition. They see that someone else values you, and suddenly your worth becomes undeniable in a way that can't be ignored. They respect you more, not because they're trying to impress, but because your value has been highlighted externally. The presence of competition acts like a mirror, reflecting just how rare and significant you are in their world. You'll notice it in subtle ways. Their attention becomes sharper, more deliberate, more focused. Conversations are no longer casual. They carry weight, meaning, and intent. Every interaction is measured, precise, and layered, as if they're not just engaging with you, they're acknowledging your importance on a level others rarely see. They don't need to say it outright. Their respect comes through in the way they listen, the way they prioritize your opinions, and the way they consider your needs without being prompted. The competitive element doesn't make them frantic. It makes them elevate their behavior. At the same time, their actions are strategic. They don't flaunt their attention to outshine others, but they do create an unmistakable presence. You may notice small gestures, a subtle adjustment in tone, a more deliberate effort to spend time with you, or a quiet demonstration of competence and reliability that sets them apart from anyone else showing interest. They don't compete to win approval. They compete to show they are already worth your attention. The truth is, high-status individuals value quality over quantity in all areas of life, especially when it comes to relationships. When they sense someone else flirting with you, they don't lose their composure. They raise their own standards. Their respect for you intensifies, their engagement sharpens, and their subtle dominance in the space around you becomes clear. This isn't about ego. It's about recognizing and honoring someone exceptional and ensuring they know they're seen, valued, and unmatched. Number 4, they start subtly competing with anyone who shows interest in you. When a high-status person is secretly into you, they don't confront or make a scene. They don't need to. Their strategy is quiet, deliberate, and surprisingly effective. The moment they sense someone else showing interest in you, a subtle shift happens. They begin to compete, not in the loud, aggressive way most people would, but with precision. Their energy, presence, and attention adjust to overshadow anyone else without making it obvious. It's a silent game of positioning, and they play it masterfully. This competition isn't about insecurity, it's about value. High-status individuals measure their world carefully, and when someone else tries to stake a claim in your attention, it challenges their perception of the environment. They respond by asserting themselves, not aggressively, but unmistakably. You'll notice it in small ways. Their timing becomes impeccable, showing up when it matters most. Their contributions in conversations or situations subtly outshine others, without anyone realizing it. They're effectively demonstrating without words that they are present, capable, and deeply attuned to you. What's fascinating is how effortless it seems. They don't need to boast or exaggerate. Their influence naturally commands attention, and their subtle competition does the work without appearing forced. You may see them being sharper, more confident, or more engaging, almost as if the room itself bends slightly in their favor. Anyone else trying to flirt or impress suddenly feels secondary, not because of direct confrontation, but because high-status people inherently elevate themselves in ways that make comparison impossible. At the core, this behavior is a reflection of their investment in you. They're not just interested. They're unwilling to let someone else take even a fraction of your attention without silently asserting their presence. Their competition is precise, strategic, and measured, designed to protect the connection before it fully manifests. It's a quiet but undeniable signal. When someone high status is secretly into you, they don't just notice other people. They respond in a way that ensures you always remain at the center of their focus. Their subtle competition is their version of claiming what matters most, without ever saying a word. Number 5, their communication. With you sharpens, not softens. A high-status person doesn't waste words. Their communication is always precise, deliberate, and intentional. But when they're secretly into you, their way of talking to you changes in a very specific way. It doesn't get softer or more sentimental. It doesn't become cute or overly affectionate. Instead, it sharpens. Every word, every message, every glance carries weight. There's a clarity and directness in the way they engage with you that you won't see with anyone else. It's as if they're saying, without saying it, that your time, attention, and understanding matter more than anyone else's. You'll notice they respond differently than they do to others. Their replies are faster, more thoughtful, and more attuned to your mood and energy. They don't just answer, they anticipate, they align, they mirror in a way that feels deliberate but natural. Every conversation with them has layers you might not immediately pick up on. It's not about impressing you, it's about creating connection without losing their composure or identity. They become the version of themselves that is perfectly compatible with you, without bending into someone else's expectations. The sharpening of their communication also shows when someone else tries to capture your attention. Suddenly, their messages are more precise, more engaging, and more focused. They won't openly call out competition, but the way they interact with you signals that you're their priority. High-status individuals don't get flustered easily, but they do get strategic. Their words become tools to maintain presence, to ensure you feel seen, and to subtly assert that you are central to their attention. This type of communication is magnetic because it's rare. Most people soften or overcompensate when they like someone, but high-status people do the opposite. They sharpen. They make every interaction count, leaving no room for ambiguity. And the deeper you notice the pattern, the more you realize that this heightened, intentional engagement is a clear sign of interest. When someone high status is into you, their words aren't just words. They are precise signals, calculated yet effortless, showing that you matter more than anyone else in the room. Number 6, they unexpectedly prioritize you in small, non-romantic decisions. When someone high status is secretly into you, their interest doesn't always show through grand gestures or flashy displays. Instead, it shows up in the small, almost imperceptible ways they adjust their life around you. They start prioritizing you in ways that aren't romantic or overt. They simply make choices that put you on their radar more often, without making it obvious. It could be something as subtle as choosing a meeting spot they know you'll pass by, sending you information they know is relevant to your interests, or rearranging their schedule so your paths cross more often. These are small moves, but each one signals that you matter enough for them to make calculated, quiet adjustments. The fascinating part is how natural it seems. They don't announce it, they don't brag, and they don't overthink it to the point of awkwardness. It's almost effortless because for high-status people, strategy and awareness are second nature. You might notice that they always seem to be available at the right times, or that their attention lands on you when it seems convenient but was carefully orchestrated. They're not bending over backward. They're subtly weaving you into the rhythm of their life without anyone else noticing. These small prioritizations reveal something deeper about their intentions. It's a level of consideration reserved only for people who matter. They're showing that you're important, not through grand declarations, but by quietly adjusting their behavior in ways that enhance your experience, even if it's just a tiny convenience. It's a form of respect, attention, and investment, all rolled into one. The truth is, high-status individuals are deliberate with their time. They don't waste it, and they certainly don't share it freely. So when you notice them slipping you into decisions or actions that seem incidental but are actually thoughtful, it's a sign that you occupy a unique place in their world. This subtle prioritization, hidden in ordinary choices, is one of the clearest signals that their interest is real, calculated, and not to be taken lightly. It's their way of saying without words that you're significant and worth their time. Number 7, their social filters change when you're involved. A high-status person is always aware of their surroundings, conscious of who they interact with, and careful about the energy they allow near them. But when they're secretly into you, their social filters shift in subtle, unmistakable ways. Suddenly, the people they let close, the conversations they engage in, and even the spaces they inhabit start to revolve around you in some way. They begin curating their environment to protect your presence, influence your interactions, and subtly control who has access to you. It's not possessive in a childish sense. It's strategic, instinctive, and very telling. You'll notice it in how they position themselves around you, People who normally have unrestricted access to their time and attention suddenly face quiet boundaries. They might be less open with others in your presence, more selective about who joins group conversations, or more conscious about how interactions unfold when you're around. This isn't a performance, it's an internal recalibration. You've become part of the variables they weigh when navigating social dynamics, and that's a significant shift. It also shows up in subtle protection. High-status individuals often shield what they value without anyone realizing it. They'll intercept situations where someone might overstep, redirect conversations that could undermine your comfort, or subtly highlight your presence so others notice your importance. These adjustments are small, almost imperceptible, but they accumulate to form a pattern. You're no longer just another person in the room. What makes this behavior so intriguing is that it's rarely conscious on their part in the moment. It's a natural response from someone who recognizes value and doesn't take it lightly. Your presence alone triggers a refinement in how they manage their social world, because they've internally acknowledged that you matter more than the ordinary flow of interactions. When you start noticing the way their social environment shifts whenever you're involved, it's a strong, undeniable signal. It reveals that your existence in their world has created a ripple effect, and that ripple is controlled, protected, and subtly elevated. This is how high-status interest manifests, through the quiet strategic management of the world around them, all to keep you at the center. Number 8, they start revealing parts of themselves. They never share casually. High-status people are notoriously guarded. They've built their lives around control, precision, and boundaries, and they rarely let anyone see behind the curtain. Their vulnerabilities are carefully hidden, their insecurities tucked away, and their true selves reserved for the rare few who have earned a place inside that inner circle. But when they're secretly into you, all of that changes in subtle yet profound ways. They begin to reveal parts of themselves that no one else gets to see, not as a show of weakness, but as a sign of trust and connection. You'll notice they open up in ways that feel effortless, even though it's deliberate. They might share a story about a mistake they usually keep private, an insecurity they normally mask, or a belief that others might dismiss. These aren't random confessions. They're calculated glimpses into the parts of them that matter most. By revealing these layers, they're showing that they trust you with something rare, something valuable, and that they're invested enough in the relationship to let down the walls they maintain so rigidly elsewhere. What makes it compelling is the contrast. With most people, they remain composed, detached, and almost untouchable. With you, they allow subtle cracks to show. Their humor may become more personal, their advice more candid, and their observations sharper and more intimate. It's an unmistakable signal that you've crossed a line into their private world, a space reserved only for people who provoke real attention and care. High-status attraction isn't about overt drama or grand gestures. It's about precision, subtlety, and trust. By letting you see their hidden sides, they're not just flirting or being friendly. They're marking you as exceptional, someone worthy of their attention and presence. Every little revelation, every carefully measured vulnerability is a quiet but powerful declaration. They are drawn to you, and you're significant enough to pierce the armor they show to the rest of the world. This is the type of attention that runs deeper than surface-level attraction. It's personal, intentional, and profoundly telling. Number 9, they become strangely interested in your standards. A high-status person rarely concerns themselves with trivial details, but when they're secretly into you, one thing captures their attention above all else: your standards. They start noticing not just what you do or say, but how you operate in the world, the people you respect, the values you uphold, and the lines you refuse to cross. It's not about judging you. It's about understanding the framework that defines who you are. Your standards become a map, a set of signals that tells them exactly how to navigate your presence without overstepping. This fascination is quiet, but persistent. They'll pay attention to what earns your admiration and what makes you dismissive. They'll notice who you trust, who you let close, and even who you subtly avoid. Every reaction you have becomes data for them, helping them measure themselves against the benchmark you've unconsciously set. They're not just observing, they're calibrating. They want to ensure they meet your expectations, align with your principles, and occupy a space in your life that matches the value you place on it. You'll start to see it in small, consistent behaviors. They may subtly adopt language or habits that resonate with you, mirror the ways you handle situations, or highlight qualities in themselves that align with what you respect. It's never fake or forced. High-status individuals are too self-aware for that. Instead, it's a careful, thoughtful adaptation that signals they are paying attention and taking your standards seriously. What makes this so revealing is that your standards become a kind of secret language between you. While others might be vying for attention through charm or performance, they measure themselves against what truly matters to you. They're invested in proving, silently but clearly, that they are capable of fitting into your world on a level that others simply can't reach. This interest in your standards is a profound sign of attraction. It shows that they don't just like you superficially. They value who you are, what you stand for, and what you won't compromise. In their mind, aligning with your standards isn't optional, it's essential. And that meticulous attention is their way of saying you matter more than anyone else in the room, quietly but unmistakably. Number 10, they quietly intercept anyone who threatens their position. A high-status person doesn't need to make a scene when someone flirts with you. They don't confront, yell, or overtly challenge others. It's beneath them. But make no mistake, when they're secretly into you, they notice any potential threat immediately. And they act, quietly, strategically, and often without anyone else realizing it. They intercept situations where someone else might edge too close. Their moves are subtle, but the effect is unmistakable. They're asserting themselves as the person who matters most, without ever having to declare it. You'll see it in small ways that feel almost effortless. They might enter a conversation at the right moment, redirecting attention or subtly taking control without it seeming intentional. They might add insight or humor that naturally outshines someone else trying to get your focus. They don't do it aggressively or publicly. They do it in a way that reinforces their presence while keeping their composure intact. It's silent dominance, the kind that doesn't scream, but makes anyone else in the room recognize that they are not to be overlooked. This behavior comes from confidence, not insecurity. High-status people are used to being respected and admired, but they also understand the stakes when someone they value starts attracting attention from others. They respond by positioning themselves in a way that ensures you remain at the center of their attention. It's protective, yes, but it's also strategic. They aren't acting out of panic. They're acting out of calculated awareness of what matters to them. The beauty of this is how precise it is. They don't need to confront the other person directly. They don't need to be obvious. Their presence, timing, and influence are enough to intercept without overt conflict. Anyone trying to flirt with you becomes secondary, almost invisible, because they've been outmaneuvered subtly, but effectively. When someone high status quietly intercepts those who threaten their position, it's a clear sign of secret interest. It reveals that you matter, that your attention has value, and that they are willing to assert themselves in ways that are controlled, deliberate, and unmistakably effective. It's protection wrapped in elegance, a silent claim that you're already theirs in ways others might never notice. Number 11, they start giving you exclusive access without announcing it. A high-status person doesn't hand out their time, attention, or resources freely. Their world is carefully curated, their inner circle tightly controlled, and their energy reserved for things and people that truly matter. So when they start giving you exclusive access, it's one of the clearest signs that they're secretly into you. And what's fascinating is how subtle it is. It's rarely announced or labeled. It's woven into their behavior so naturally that you might not even realize it at first. Yet every small act signals that you occupy a unique position in their life that no one else does. This exclusive access can take many forms. They might share information with you before anyone else, let you in on opportunities others don't know about, or invite you into spaces and experiences that are normally off limits. It's not about flaunting privilege, it's about creating a private connection. By doing this, they're silently showing that you are important, that your presence is valued, and that you're trusted in ways most people aren't. They don't make a spectacle of it. It's quiet, intentional, and deeply personal. The beauty of this behavior is that it's both protective and revealing. High-status individuals guard what they care about, and when you see them opening these doors just for you, it's a strong signal that you matter. They're investing in your relationship with them without needing to announce it, letting actions speak louder than words ever could. They're essentially saying, "You're significant enough that I'll bend the rules of my world for you." This kind of attention is rare and strategic. Most people show interest through words or gestures, but high-status attraction works differently. By granting exclusive access, they create a quiet but undeniable distinction. You are not just another person. They are selectively, deliberately letting you into parts of their life that others cannot touch. It's subtle, sophisticated, and profoundly revealing. When someone high status does this, it's not casual. It's a calculated, intimate acknowledgement that you are exceptional, valued, and central to their attention. Number 12, they match your energy with scientific precision. When a high-status person is secretly into you, they don't just notice you, they calibrate themselves around you. Their attention isn't casual or half-hearted, it's deliberate and astonishingly precise. They observe how you speak, how you move, how you react to different situations, and they adjust their own energy to align with yours. This isn't about mimicry or trying too hard. It's a subtle, almost unconscious strategy to make interactions feel effortless and natural while keeping you fully engaged. Every smile, every pause, every shift in tone is measured, and it's all aimed at creating a connection that feels magnetic without ever being forced. You'll notice that when you're excited, animated, or expressive, they match that intensity in a way that feels synchronous. When you're calm, reflective, or serious, they mirror that mood, creating a rhythm in conversation that is rare and compelling. High-status individuals do this instinctively because they're skilled at reading people, but with you, the precision is unmistakable. It's as if your energy sets the pace, and they consciously ensure they don't disrupt it. They enhance it. This alignment goes beyond mere communication. It's in their presence, their body language, and even in the timing of their actions. If someone else tries to get your attention, they adjust instantly, subtly increasing their engagement to keep your focus while remaining smooth, composed, and in control. They don't compete loudly or obnoxiously. They match, elevate, and dominate the interaction in ways that feel natural but are deeply strategic. What makes this behavior so revealing is the level of intent behind it. High-status people rarely expend energy unnecessarily. If they are syncing themselves so precisely to your energy, it means you are extraordinary in their eyes. They aren't just interested, they are invested in ensuring that every interaction with you is memorable, comfortable, and uniquely engaging. Their ability to mirror and match your energy with such precision is a quiet but undeniable declaration. They want you, they value you, and they are willing to adjust their entire rhythm just to be in harmony with yours. Number 13, they protect your reputation when you aren't around. A high-status person doesn't just care about how you interact with them. They care about how others perceive you when you're not in the room. When they're secretly into you, their protective instincts extend beyond immediate interactions. They notice the little things that could undermine your image, your confidence, or your sense of self, and they quietly step in to safeguard it. This isn't about controlling you or being overbearing. It's a deliberate, strategic way of showing that you matter enough to them to defend your presence even in your absence. You'll notice it in subtle ways. If someone speaks negatively about you, underestimates you, or tries to diminish your worth, they intervene with precision. Sometimes it's a simple correction, a subtle shift in tone, or a strategic comment that reframes the narrative without calling attention to themselves. Other times, they preemptively protect you by steering conversations, managing impressions, or subtly influencing situations so that your reputation remains intact. Every action is carefully measured to maintain respect, admiration, and the sense that you are not to be underestimated. This protective behavior is significant because it demonstrates a level of investment that goes far beyond surface-level attraction. High-status individuals are constantly aware of the social and professional landscapes around them, and they don't waste their energy on matters that aren't important. By taking steps to guard your reputation, they're signaling that you occupy a unique position in their world. You are someone worth defending, someone worth accounting for in their decisions and social strategies. What makes this behavior truly remarkable is its quiet sophistication. It's rarely visible to most people, but the effects are undeniable. You'll notice that people treat you differently, respect you more, or hesitate to overstep boundaries around you, often without realizing why. Their protection creates a silent acknowledgement. You are significant, valued, and respected, and they are committed to ensuring the world sees it too. When a high-status person protects your reputation when you aren't there, it's one of the clearest, most powerful signals that they are genuinely invested in you. Number 14, they become more honest with you than with anyone else. High-status people are masters of control. They carefully manage what others see, how they're perceived, and the version of themselves they present to the world. Vulnerability is rare, and honesty is usually measured, filtered, and strategic. But when they're secretly into you, all of that changes. They begin to reveal truths, admit mistakes, and share opinions in ways they never would with anyone else. It's not careless honesty, it's deliberate transparency, a sign that they trust you enough to let their guard down in a way that few others ever will. You'll notice it in conversations where they speak more freely, without the usual layers of performance. They might share thoughts they usually keep private, opinions that challenge norms, or feelings they would normally suppress. Their honesty isn't about testing you or putting you on the spot. It's about creating a real connection, a space where they can show who they truly are. When someone high status chooses to be this open, it's a subtle but profound acknowledgement that you matter to them. You're no longer just another person. They see you as someone worthy of their trust and attention. This level of honesty often appears in situations where others wouldn't dare speak openly. They're willing to admit faults, express doubts, or reveal insecurities because they feel safe with you in a way they don't with the rest of the world. The contrast is striking. While they may remain polished and controlled with everyone else, with you they're authentic, raw, and surprisingly human. This honesty is not casual or random. It's intentional, a quiet signal of investment and care. At its core, this behavior reflects a deeper principle. When a high-status person values you, they don't just want to be around you, they want you to see them as they truly are. By being more honest than with anyone else, they're forging a bond built on trust, respect, and authenticity. It's their way of saying, without words, that you're significant, that you matter, and that the connection they feel with you is real, rare, and worth revealing themselves for. Conclusion. When a high-status person is secretly into you, their interest isn't loud, dramatic, or flashy. It's quiet, precise, and deeply revealing in ways most people miss. From subtle shifts in their composure to the way they prioritize you, protect your reputation, and reveal parts of themselves no one else sees. Every action is a calculated signal. They don't chase recklessly, they don't overexpose their feelings, and they don't need to perform, because their attention, presence, and energy speak louder than any words ever could. Every behavior we've explored, from matching your energy perfectly, to subtly competing with others, to giving you exclusive access and adapting their social environment, is a reflection of genuine investment. It's a combination of strategy, instinct, and care that only someone who truly values you can display. High-status attraction is not about theatrics. It's about precision, authenticity, and recognition of your unique worth. When you notice these signals, it's a rare glimpse into someone who has the power to impress everyone else, but chooses to focus that power entirely on you. The beauty of this dynamic is that it's subtle, yet undeniable. You may feel it more than see it, sense it more than hear it, and recognize it only after patterns reveal themselves. Every micro-action, every slight adjustment, every careful observation is a testament to the fact that you matter, and that someone extraordinary is quietly making you central in their world. So pay attention to these signs, notice the shifts, and honor the rare attention someone high status is giving you. It's not casual, it's not fleeting, it's a deliberate, powerful acknowledgement of your value, and it's something that very few people ever experience. If you found this breakdown insightful and want more content that uncovers hidden truths about human behavior, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment your thoughts, and share it with someone who needs to see this. Trust me, this is the kind of knowledge that changes how you see the world and the people who inhabit it. Stay blessed always.